The impact of tariffs on jobs in food industry in the US and Canada needs to be ascertained and analyzed. Tariffs on food imports and exports between the US and Canada can significantly impact jobs in the food industry. These impacts vary depending on whether tariffs are increasing or decreasing, affecting different sectors such as agriculture, food processing, and retail. Let's analyze the impact of tariffs on jobs in the US food industry. Job losses in agriculture and food processing areas. When tariffs increase on food imports from Canada, US companies that rely on Canadian ingredients such as dairy, seafood, and processed food face higher cost. This leads to higher prices for consumers and lower demand, forcing some businesses to cut jobs or reduce production. An example is when the US imposed tariffs on Canadian dairy products. It led to higher prices for cheese and butter, impacting food processors and restaurants that rely on these imports. Let's analyze job growth and domestic food production. Higher tariffs can protect domestic farmers and food producers by making imported food more expensive. This can create more jobs in the domestic agriculture sector, such as demand for locally produced food increases. Example, tariffs on Canadian wheat can encourage US farmers to grow more wheat, leading to job creation in farming and food processing. What's the impact on retail and consumer prices? If food prices rise due to tariffs, grocery stores and restaurants may see lower sales, leading to fewer job opportunities. Consumers may switch to cheaper alternatives, affecting demand for higher-end food products and imports. What is the impact of tariff on jobs in the Canadian food industry? Job losses in export-oriented sectors. Canada exports a large amount of food to the US, including dairy, seafood, and processed foods. US tariffs can reduce exports, leading to job losses in Canadian farms, food processing plants, and transportation sectors. An example is when the US imposed tariffs on Canadian seafood, Canadian fish exporters struggled, causing layoffs in fishing and seafood processing industries. In domestic and alternative markets, Canadian producers may look for new markets, for example, Europe or Asia, to compensate for lost US sales. Government subsidies and trade agreements such as CPTPP may help stabilize jobs in affected industries. What about retail and food service industry impact? If Canada retaliates with its own tariffs on US food imports, Canadian grocery stores and restaurants may face higher cost, leading to higher food prices and potential job losses in retail. Let's look at a case study. US and Canada trade war between 2018 and 2020. In response to US tariffs on steel and aluminum, Canada imposed retaliatory tariffs on American food products such as ketchup, yogurt, and whiskey. Impact in the US. Heinz and other American food producers saw lower sales in Canada, affecting production job losses. Canadian consumers switched to domestic brands, boosting local food manufacturing jobs. In conclusion, we can say that there's a mixed impact on jobs. US farmers and food manufacturers may benefit from reduced competition, but food processors and retailers may suffer from higher cost. Canada's export-driven food industries face job losses, but local food production could see growth. Overall, tariffs create job shifts rather than net job growth, with winners and losers in different sectors.